Thanks, Steph. An emergency meeting at Queen's Park today as the province records record high new COVID-19 case counts, and health officials hint that ramped up restrictions could be coming back.
Alarm bells are ringing louder and louder. The time for concern and great concern is at hand.
The province's chief medical officer confirming that updated recommendations have been made to the Ford government around tightening restrictions, though it's not clear what those measures will look like. Yesterday's new case number, 797, breaking a previous record from just 1 week ago. A frustrated Dr. Williams is calling on residents to step up by hunkering down.
Avoid close contact with individuals outside of your household. And this is not a new message. We've said this all along. We tried to do it with social circles, and people late in the summer and September imploded on that. We want to keep our schools open. We want to keep a lot of our retailers open, essential services open. We want to do that. We don't have a total lockdown, and you don't want a total lockdown.
Williams says case and contact management was easy during lockdown, but has been more challenging as officials try to keep schools and businesses open, noting that people who have tested positive lately may have been in contact with up to 100 people. Here's a live look at Queen's Park ahead of the province's emergency meeting, which will be following all morning. Toronto Public Health has called on the province to shut down indoor dining and bars, but Dr. Williams would not confirm if that was recommended to the Premier. Coming up at 7, we'll be speaking with Toronto's Associate Chief Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Vanita Dubé, about what she thinks the city and the province need to do to stop the spread of this virus. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau promising a big announcement today about federal funding for food banks. The PM says he anticipates food banks will face shortages as we head into the holiday season. In April, Ottawa allotted $100 million in support to keep food banks viable during the lockdown. Trudeau is expected to make a similar announcement today as Canada's COVID-19 case numbers continue to rise. That's expected at noon, and you can get the latest on our website, citynews.ca. And coming up at 7:20 on BT, we'll speak with Daily Bread Food Bank CEO Neil Hetherington. Later this morning, Statistics Canada will report whether more Canadians have gone back to work in September. March and April saw a historic drop in employment, some 3 million jobs, but also almost two-thirds have since been recovered. Expectations are a gain in September, but at a slower pace than previous months. We'll bring you those numbers as soon as they're released. How do Canadians feel about policing? A new Angus Reid poll finds that 77% of Caucasian respondents have a favorable view, while that number drops to 72% among Indigenous people and 67% for those who identify as visible minorities. Among respondents aged 18 to 24, only half said their view of policing was positive. Just over 5,000 Canadians were polled for the Internet survey, which survey in late August, which has no margin of error. South of the border now, as Donald Trump recovers from COVID-19, the president is expected to hold a virtual rally tonight as he hosts the Rush Limbaugh show. With a little more than 3 weeks to the election, Trump continues to do a final push for support. Tonight's virtual rally will take questions from listeners and is expected to draw a huge audience. This will be the first rally since his public COVID-19 diagnosis and discharge from the hospital. The president confirms to Fox News that in-person rallies will continue despite his positive diagnosis.
I just saw the doctors today. They think I'm in great shape. I'm in great shape. I think I'm going to try doing a rally on Saturday night if we have enough time to put it together. But we want to do a rally in Florida, probably in Florida on Saturday night. Might come back and do one in Pennsylvania in the following night. And it's incredible what's going on. I feel so good.
Meanwhile, Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden is at a loss.
I'm going to follow the commission recommendation. If he goes off and he's going to have a rally, I don't know what I'll do.
It's unclear when the next presidential debate will be, as the White House has not said whether Trump has tested negative for COVID-19 or if he's still contagious. The president has refused to participate in next week's virtual debate. The Republican nominee is trailing in the latest national polls.